Welcome! Since it's been over a year since I managed to get a broadcast out there to you wonderful salon owners and managers, I thought it would be a fantastic opportunity to talk a little bit about procrastination. Hello. The irony is not lost on me that my career is built on helping you guys get more out of your business, helping you achieve more, helping you build a salon that you're proud of. And yet here I am apologising for not being in touch for over a year and talking to you about my journey through procrastination. So what went wrong? Well, over a year ago, I'd managed to get my productivity to a really high level, and I'd done it through outsourcing. So I had a team of 3 virtual assistants working for me, and one of them was a video editor. So it's no secret that I hate editing videos, and so I'm not even editing this one for you. So I'd employed a video editor, and I'd also employed somebody who would turn that video into the outline of a blog so that I could get some blog content out of there. And then I had a virtual assistant who kind of oversaw the whole process and looked after us all. The problem was my video editor was not really ticking all the boxes. He had very definite ideas about the style that my videos ought to take on. He had very definite ideas about how I was going to get success on YouTube and success through podcasting. And he started to impose those views on my work. And he was trying to chase tens of thousands of views on each video, and it just didn't feel authentic to me. It didn't feel like me anymore. So, of course, I completely overreacted, and I sacked all of my assistants all at the same time, and decided I was going to take everything back to bare bones and start doing the work myself. Now, editing videos and editing podcasts and putting blogs out there is something that I did for years and managed without any help at all. So what was different this time? Well, the difference was when I used to do those videos and blogs, I was working in the salon as well. So I was only doing that as a part-time job. Now this is my full-time job, and I have coaching clients and I have online programs that I'm launching every month. I was just really struggling to get started, and so the procrastination set in. And as time went on, it was a bit like not doing your homework when you were at secondary school. It kind of starts to build into this big monster in your mind and becomes more daunting, and that procrastination gets easier and easier. And of course, after an amount of time, you start to kid yourself that you're able to succeed without carrying out certain tasks in your business. The problem was there was a need there, and I was getting nagged by people, and they were asking when the next video was going to come along, when the next podcast was going to be recorded. And I missed it because I actually enjoy talking to you guys, and I love hearing back from you when you're starting to get some transformation. Now, I am not a wonderful, cuddly, fluffy person. Now, people see somebody in the salon industry who's a homosexual and overweight, and they automatically think that you're the shoulder to cry on and the person that they can skip through the fields with, and I'll talk to you about your feelings. That is not me. In fact, one of my team members was splitting up with her fiancé at the time, long-term boyfriend. And she said to me that actually I was completely cold and dead inside, had a heart of stone, because I'm not that sympathetic guy. I'm not the person you go to when you're having those outpourings and breakthroughs and those big, deep emotional feelings. I'm the guy you go to when you need to sort the joint mortgage out. I'm the guy you go to when you need to detangle yourself from the joint bank account. I'm the guy who helps you with the practical stuff, and that's what I do in my career as well. So when it comes to procrastination, particularly when I'm talking to my coaching clients, I'm the guy who can get you moving again. I'm the guy who can remind you why you set this goal in the first place. I'm the guy who reminds you why it is that we need to do this essential work. And yet it wasn't working. I was having those talks with myself, and it wasn't making any difference to my productivity at all. I still wasn't getting on top of the blogs and videos and podcasts. So what was going wrong? What was going wrong was that I wasn't procrastinating in the true sense of the word. To me, procrastination is delaying a task that you know is important in some kind of lazy way because you can't be bothered or you can't quite see a way to get started with it. I wasn't suffering with procrastination. What I was suffering with was overwhelm. I had so much extra work to do, and the thought of going back to doing all this extra work for videos and podcasts and blogs on top was just such a beast to me. I couldn't see a way to get started with it in an effective way. It was completely overwhelming, and so I froze. It was a fear-based response rather than something born out of laziness. So true procrastination, where you're kicking stuff into the long grass because you can't be bothered, absolutely, it's okay to have a very strong word with yourself, or get a coach to have a very strong word with you. But if you're struggling with that fear-based response, that paralysis through overwhelm, somebody coming along and giving you a kick up the bum is not going to help at all. In fact, it makes the problem so much worse. And it was only when I started talking to my coach and we had some extended sessions where we dug a bit deeper to find out what was going on that we started to recognise this overwhelm, and we could come up with a strategy going forward. So how do we deal with overwhelm? Well, it goes back to those very, very basics. I've always said if you're feeling overwhelmed, you haven't broken a task down enough. We need to break it down into tiny, granular details and then start celebrating the very small wins as we start to achieve and move towards that bigger goal. Also, once we start breaking things down, it means things are ripe for systemization and delegation. So I had to get back on the horse again. I had to realize that my one bad experience with one outsourcer was not going to define the way that I ran my business. It was not going to change my path as somebody who employed the help they needed to take their business forward. And it worked over an amount of time, over a year. It took me so long to get to this stage. I finally got to the stage where I could systemize and delegate some of the work. And here I am back in front of the camera with my apologies for abandoning you for quite so long. So if you're procrastinating with something, absolutely have a kick up the bum, but make sure it's procrastination and not overwhelm first. I hope that's been useful to you. If it has, don't forget to click subscribe. I promise I'll be back next week with some more amazing content for you. Until I speak to you again, take care.